All right, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Big Brother A with the Carolina FratHouse podcast. It's the NFL Draft Live. All right, we started after the third pick. Um, Not really surprising, there's been some talk about Jeremiah Love going to the Cardinals. Want to bump up the offense, but the first two picks, not surprised. David Bailey, Fernando Mendoza going first overall to the Raiders. Everything's going pretty much as expected. So I'm gonna try to fix the screen up above me to show the picks, but if not, I'll be doing play by play, so everyone can keep track. Um, if you look what I'm broadcasting now, I have a list of the PFF's top 50 picks, and well, not top 50 picks, but every player on this list except the first two, we've done a top 30 visit with. And the reason I have them listed, if we're following the trend from the past 2 years, our first round pick will be a top 30, a player we did a top 30 visit with. All right. But Ruben Bain and Dylan Thieneman, they're listed because, as I said in the previous video, this is just a winning scenario. If we get those guys, then we won the draft. We're in the first round. But I have the players and the ranking, PFF's ranking of those players. I didn't want to go past 50. It's two second round guys I could have added. AJ Halsey is one. Chris Brazell, wide receiver. Um, but yeah, let's see. You know, let's see how the draft goes out. Let's see what's going to be the first big turn, first big surprise pick that's going to shake up the draft. So, guys, just sit back, relax. Let me try to fix this screen to show the picks better. But yeah, just make sure to like and subscribe and make comments. Post any comments you have, and I'll try to answer as the picks go along. All right, and I would consider this a surprise. Carnell Tate, wide receiver, went next. So over Makai Lemon, Carnell Tate. So let's see. That's pretty surprising. So I wonder where Makai Lemon is going to go. But interesting pick. He thing is Carnell Tate. He's a has an ex wide receiver built. If you wanted, you know, to go guy, you go with him over Makai Lemon. So sort of surprised, but not really a surprise. All right, so yeah, I'll keep working on that. Just showing the little Yahoo draft. You can see like the pick in the middle, uh, but pick five is in. All right, pick five is in. Let's see if the Giants go with Sonny Styles. That's this is where, like I said, I believe it can really shake up these next two picks. That's the Giants and then Cleveland. All right, the draft can really shake up between these next two picks. All right, let's see. Giants pick coming up. Arvell Reese. Okay, okay. Edge Arvell Reese. Let's see, decent pick, decent pick. I'm not sure. I know Giants traded Dexter Lawrence, but not sure how much edge help they need. They got Brian Burns from us. He was top sack leader this past season. Don't know who they had opposite of him, but still a pretty productive player. The defense. Okay, okay. So let's see. So I'm looking at the picks. Guys, I'm looking at pick number 10 that Giants have. Right? Giants have pick number 10. I'm looking at that pick and I'm wondering would you trade up for that pick if someone elite falls to pick number 10, like Sonny Styles? Elite potential, Sonny Styles. Especially the Giants need more picks. Um, they probably could load up. I would consider that. And trust me, I hate trading up. Okay, especially for the Panthers. But let's see. Would you consider that? All right, Browns. Okay, the Browns. Their pick is going to be off the wall. I don't even. I don't even know who Cleveland could pick here. They might grab Sonny Styles. Oh, okay. Trade Kansas City. Kansas City traded up. All right, for the sixth pick. Who is Kansas City aiming for? Okay, they say potentially Ruben Bain. Say a corner. Or a tackle. Let's see. Let's see if I could guess. Um, it has to be either tackle or yeah, it has to be the tackle or corner. Has to be one of those premium positions. And Patrick Mahomes just got injured last year too. Oh, corner, yeah. Okay, corner, yeah. Defense called it. Now you guys are probably wondering why would Kansas City trade up for a corner? And that's because, like I said, corner is a premium position in the NFL. Premium, you have to have a good corner to make it as an NFL team, be competitive. And I believe Kansas City traded that corner, the Jerry Sneed. I have to check their depth chart, but I believe Trent McDuffie, excuse me. Um, but that's one of those positions you should want. You should want three good corners if you can get them, but definitely you need at least one, right? And it's like, hey, if you feel like this guy is elite and he's the best of the best, hey, you don't let that guy slip, okay? Panther fans, we drafted J.C. Horn. Imagine if J.C. Horn, you know, Patrick Surtain, was defensive player of the year at corner. We drafted J.C. Horn over Patrick Surtain. Imagine if J.C. Horn was just average. You know, J.C. Horn, he's still great. He's still great. He has his moments against the Saints, but he's still a great corner. Him being great, it allows Mike Jackson to play well. But really good pick, really good play. I actually like that they traded up from like don't leave that to chance. You know, you guys, you already, you know, you got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Kansas City has a great coach, solid foundation. Like, hey, let's go for this now. And I have to look and check to see what they traded away. You know, yeah. Before I say it's too good, let me see what they traded away. Yeah, maybe they'll. I'm watch. Maybe they'll talk about it. I gotta see the trade value again. But if it's not anything crazy, good trade. All right, all right. They feel real okay. Washington's real happy. All right, so whoever they wanted made it to their pick. They did not waste any time. They already knew who they was gonna pick. Oh man, got Jerome Bettis and Lynn Swan. Man, okay. Oh, Sunny Styles, Sunny Styles. Oh man. All right, great pick. I think that's an excellent pick. Man, I was wondering if he was gonna get down to number 10. All right, pick 7. You know, I really like how Washington drafts. You know, I'm in DMV area. Jaden Daniels. You know, he's a young quarterback. He was injured last year. Let's see how he bounced back. But you know, they've been drafting pretty well past few years. So We've gotten to pick 7, and everyone on my personal big board is still available. So, just a little bit over 1/3 of the way to 19. Everyone's still there. So, let's see who's all still available now with these next teams coming up. Let's see. So we got, okay, so Cleveland moves back. We got the Saints. Now this would be, real important to see who the Saints pick. I've seen Ruben Bain mock to them a lot. That would be a pain to go against, like I said, Dan Morgan says, he feel like Ruben Bain has a dog mentality. So imagine going against him twice a year. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of potential. Maybe wide receiver. Doubt that. Let's see. Offensive tackle. They do have a young quarterback that played pretty decent for the Saints. Tyler Show. He I'll say this, man. He showed a good bit, man. He showed he could start. So. right, let's see. The Saints coming up. Oh, Jordan Tyson. Oh, wide receiver. Okay. All right, man. Ooh, man. He did work with Hines Ward. He's very flexible wide receiver. Can move the X, Z slot. He just had some injury concerns, but overall, he's a great wide receiver. Gets open pretty well. Has, like I said, strong hands. Oh, man, we might go corner. Panthers might go corner. Oh, man, breaking down. Happy for the young man. So let's Man, why are they singing gospel? Man, it's like they're making this seem like a true rag to riches story. Maybe he had requested it. Music. Amen. Cleveland. Booing. So, Chris Olave, Jordan Tyson, man, that offense, man, Saints, man, they're really trying to build the offense around Tyler Shaw. So, it's gonna be interesting, man. Mike Jack, he's stepped up his plays. He's been playing well with J.C. Horn, but we gotta contract year for Mike Jack. He's gonna be close to 30. Shaw Smith Wade. He's nickel. Him and Corey Thornton. They both perform pretty well. Spencer Fano. Fano. Okay, tackle. Oh man. Okay. That's the first tackle off the board, Spencer. For no, that's interesting. Let's. Yeah, some thought Francis McGold would go before him. All right. Marinoid, there you go. So we went right after him. That's gonna be. All right, real gonna be real interesting. Oh man. Oh, okay. So Dallas traded up. So after James, Dallas traded up. I wonder who they're aiming for. Okay, Cowboys gave up both their fifth rounders to the Dolphins. They're predicting Caleb Downs safety. You know, they're celebrating. Caleb Downs, I can see it. So we're getting to pick 11. So about, let's see. Yeah, pick 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks away from the Panthers pick. Guys, are any of the picks that you're hoping are still available? Should be. You know, like I said, my big boy, all those guys are still available. Including Ruben Bain. You know, hey, we're primed for a winning. We're primed for a winning pick. Got 2 players still available. Winning pick. We're at 11. Let's go. Let's see what the pick's going to be. They trade up 1 spot. Up. Caleb Downs. That's who it was. Okay, safety. Guys. I guess they thought another team was gonna trade up. Okay, Caleb Downs. All right. So who do we got next? So yeah, Dolphins should already know who they're gonna pick. So when we get to the 15th pick, that's when it's gonna get real. I want to see who makes it past the 15th pick. All right, Dolphins. Who Dolphins gonna get? All right, let's go. Caden Proctor, tackle. All right, let's see. All right, Caden. You know, still. All right, Rams. So the Rams already know who they're gonna pick. The Ravens on the clock. Excuse me. So far, tackles are going. Every Jordan Tyson went pretty high. I think that was so that I think I saw some rumors about that. He went to the Saints. Good spot for him. Sonny Styles fell a little bit, but went to that seventh to the Washington. Nothing outrageous too far. I'll say the Caden Proctor was probably sort of shocking at 12, but you can't teach size. But man, tackle 6'7", 366, man. That's I don't know if that can be your left tackle. Maybe right, but even at that size, man, I feel like when NFL players, linemen are that big, they usually struggle unless they're extremely light on their feet. But I mean, maybe he is. It's only 20. Maybe he gets down to like about 340. Still has the huge size, but gets a little bit lighter on his feet. 25 pounds off. Maybe that's where he needs to be. Maybe they feel like, hey, we can do that. Turn him into Jonathan Ogden. But, let's take a moment, man, guys. Like I said, if you're logging on, please like and subscribe. Like I said, up and coming channel. We're going to try to build things up. Looking at this pick going to trends, I'm eyeing Dylan Thieneman and Jermon McCoy, those two picks specifically. Secondary, especially if the Buccaneers go offense as well. Makes for some reason makes me feel like we're gonna go like secondary. So they're saying quarterback. Ty Simpson. I don't know about that pick, man. I don't know. I guess like, hey, if you really like his potential, or like, you I guess maybe if Matt Stafford tell you like, hey, this is gonna be my last year, next year, next 2 years, I gotta see how. Let's see how many years Matthew Stafford still got on his contract. How many years? Oh, this next year is last year. So hey, Yeah, this is last year coming up, so that makes you know. I've seen him compared to Baker Mayfield, and you know, Baker Mayfield did you sort of revive his career with the Rams. Okay, okay. Quarterback. All right. All right. Now, I am a fan of the Ravens, fan of Lamar Jackson. You know, Ruben Bain would be such a Ravens pick. Like, get a great player. But let me see. Now, I don't know anything about the Ravens' actual needs, but the pick is in. Okay. The guard, yeah, okay. That's a Ravens pick. Hmm. All right, let's see. So Ravens. All right. All right. After the Buccaneers, maybe I'm gonna take a quick break, but small break. But stream will still be going. Real interesting, man. All the picks still there. pick still there. Let's see. All right, the Bane. The Bucks. They're saying, let's see, Bucks pick is in. Okay, Buccaneers. Let's see what you're talking about. Okay, who's Tampa got? Damn. Ruben Bain to Tampa. Oh. Ooh, Ruben Bain. Oh, we gotta. Ooh. So let's Ruben Bain. So that's the first person off my personal list that I have up for the Panthers. Uh, Sadly, it's going to a division rival. Man, we gonna be going up against a real dog, man. He's undersized, but he's a real dog. You know, he's gonna test our guards. You know, thankfully we do have some great guards, but he's ooh wee. So Miss. So let's go ahead and take Ruben Bain. Uh, well, now I'm just keep the list up. I'm gonna keep the list up. But Ruben Bain, he's off. I wish I could see if I could strike through Ruben Bain, but one of the winning scenarios is off the table. Jets are next. Pick is in, man. But yeah, let me take this. Let me take this break right quick. All right, so I'll be right back. Be right back. All right, people, I made it back. I see Kenyon Sadiq. That's someone who's been to the Jets. That's someone who's been mocked to us a whole lot. All right, he actually went to the Jets. Okay, figured he wasn't going to the Panthers. We never really brought him in much, you know. But, you know, the athletic freak, man. The athletic freak. Let's see. He do something with the Jets and Gino. But man, we're like 3 picks away. Dylan Thieneman's still there. Jermon McCoy's still there. You know, Makai Lemon. Okay, he's not on the list, but his name did come out saying, hey, if Jordan Tyson, Makai Lemon, and Dylan Thieneman is there, this from our local beat reporter of the Panthers, we would grab one of them. If not, we would trade back. So Makai Lemon is still out there. Now, why could it be falling? I think it might be because, you know, it says demeanor is a little weird. Probably wondering how that would mesh in the locker room. Also, he's, you know, mostly slot wide receiver. You know, when I'm looking at the 2 wide receivers that left that's been drafted before, they are more, you know, have more ex wide receiver potential. So I wonder, you know, there's a couple wide receivers that's mainly slot dominant. I wonder when they'll start being drafted because if all of those guys start falling, you know, Omar Cooper could be considered that type of wide receiver. I wonder KC Concepcion could be considered that type of wide receiver. I wonder if these guys will fall out the first round. You know, the league might feel like, hey, all you can do is slot. I don't want to waste my first round on you. So that's something to look out for. All right, Lions. Tackle, yeah. So Blake Miller, yeah, man. A lot of tackles are going off. Like, you know, that's like I said, premium position, man. Gotta have talent there. Today's league, man. With how talented these edges are now, man, you gotta have 2 good tackles. Okay, tackle. All right, so guys, one more pick, man. One more pick, and then us. Man, Dylan Thieneman's still there. This is, you know, if the Vikings. Oh man, the Vikings pick is already in. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Vikings pick is in. Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks, D tackle. That's someone. That's someone we actually talked to and did a visit with. Yeah, but I think he's an older player, like 23. Man, 6'6", 327, D tackle. So, so it's our pick. So if I'm looking at this, man, it's our pick. It has to be Dylan Thieneman or Jermon McCoy. Either or. It has to be one of those two. Or Makai Lemon. Or Makai Lemon. I wasn't expecting him to fall so much. But I think he's gonna keep following. Oh wait, we traded. We traded our pick. Did we? Wait, the Eagles. Oh, the Eagles traded up after our pick with Dallas. So, all right, all right. So, okay, guys. I saw the pick. I'm not gonna spoil it until it's like announced. But it's interesting, real interesting. I'll say that. So, All right, guys. So the pick Monroe Freeling, tackle. All right, so it's completely wrong. Now, completely wrong. Now I did have was gonna put him up as a winning pick because of his athleticism for tackle. But that's we needed this pick. I guess needed pick. Icky's hurt. We needed, and I believe Monroe's a better pass rusher than run blocker. We needed. Now I'm trying to see if we brought him in or if we even. All right, trying to. So let me see if we even did a 30 visit, but I don't know. I'm sort of mixed on this pick. Oh, and Makai Lemon. Yeah, I can see that Makai Lemon. I cannot find. I'm looking, but I cannot find. I'm looking at the tracker someone put together for all the visits we had. I know he was a local kid, but I don't think we've met with him. So that trend, the top 30 visits, is not carried over. So let's edit. Let's edit this big board. Go ahead, take it down. Monroe Freeland, so tackle. So guy, he's gonna have a chance to start. You know, I'll say this: looking at his relative athletic score, man, it's almost 10 out of 10. It's, the only thing he's holding back is weight, and he can gain weight. Man, athleticism, he's there, man. That's I say this, man. We have extremely we drafted extremely athletic tackle. All right, we got a guy. Hey, we're gonna have first round talent on the line. We're gonna try to keep the O line strong. I guess they believe this was utmost importance. He's compared to Taylor Lewan from the Titans. I saw that comparison. So I don't I'm fine with the pick. You know, the thing is, Monroe Freeling, he's still, he's still developing his skill. So he's sort of raw. Mm-hmm. Let's. So yeah, let's take this whole like big boy thing down. Okay. So we're gonna take this. Just take this down. All right. So what I'm gonna put up. Let's put up a picture of Monroe Freeling. Let's put up a picture of him. All right, 6'7", 315 pounds. All right. So this is our first round pick. I want to put up something else to let you know why. Could be a, you know, extra reason on why we picked him up. All right. There you go. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Let's just keep it like that. But let's just keep it right there. A 9.99 relative athletic score out of 10. All right. He's just pure athlete. And I do believe in that for your first rounder. All right. I do. I think your first rounder got to be a guy, hopefully good production and whatnot, but he needs to be an extremely rare athlete. Right? But, let's. Okay, now what's the problem? Because he's still growing. And you know what? He can still grow. He doesn't have to start. Lee Walker can start over him. Like I said, we needed a tackle, man. Taylor Morton, we might look at to replace him next year. Icky, we might try to put Icky at guard or right tackle. Hey, you have a chance to get a tackle that's probably a better pass blocker than Icky was. I'm saying he's not just any tackle. He's the most athletic tackle out of all the tackles here. He's from Charleston. Shout out South Carolina. Like, okay. So okay, Max. That's who. Now Maxi Chanachor, he just went to the Steelers. That's who I thought we were going to get. All right, I thought we was going to get him. Because we brought him in for the top 30 visit, so it's like he's athletic as well. He hasn't been playing football long. Like, yeah, man. You know, man. I graded an A. I graded an A. You know, uh, like, I think it was a need or is a need. I do like the potential. Like, hey, man, if you're gonna go for a tackle, like, like, he's athletic. Like, hey, maybe that's to turn to elite tackle, elite, skills. Maybe not, but we went for offense again. We've gone offense first rounder. Like this, what, fourth year straight. We're going offense again. We got to make this offense work. Maybe we don't go offensive. Icky's still there, but hey, you gotta keep the offense running. Try to make it work. And that, I guess, O line is very huge with it. We've already put a huge amount of resources towards the offense. Do not be surprised if Icky is gone after this. We might say, hey, Icky, you're gonna have to recover with another team. Like, let's go over some strengths, that I'm gonna get from NFL.com on Monroe Freeland. And shout out to the Eagles with Makai Lemon. Grab him. Hey, AJ Brown's gone. Let's look at some of these strengths. Now this is from NFL.com. Now I usually use let's just make this bigger. This is the main reason why though. We can even cover. Let's, if you want to know why we drafted Monroe Freeland, this is the main reason why. Relative athletic score, close to 10 out of 10. He's technically the perfect tackle athletically. That's why we picked him. 22nd pick. Let's jump in 22nd pick right quick. Okay, Akeem Mesidor went to the Chargers. All right. Now let's go over some Monroe Freeland strengths. This from NFL.com. Long-limbed with a frame that can add mass. So his lowest score on the relative athletic score, he has a frame to add more mass. So maybe get to 325. Possesses plus athletic ability for a position. Yes, he's an athlete. Has the initial quickness to make all the move blocks asked of him. So he can block on the run. I think I saw that. He really stepped up at the end of the Georgia season. All right, so he could do probably quick screens, running out, counters, can do all that. Continues pressing forward to stay connected long in the blocks. Okay, so good drive. Protection improved noticeably as the season progressed. All right, that's what actually stated by the experts when we drafted him. Good fluidity when switching off and mirroring twisters. Redirects feet quickly to meet inside moves at the B gap and runs like a tight end as a lead blocker to spring and slip screens. Now, that's probably the most important strength. right? Because what I believe is we're going to get back to like these quick throws, quick screen passes. We're going to get back to that. And we're going to need quick tackles for that. All right. You know, Frank Wright, when he was coach, we had to Bryce, you know, we threw a lot of that. Way too much, but we did. I think what Dave Canales realized is you have to have that as part of Bryce's game. Right? You have to have that as part of Bryce's game. See, like that's what he's extremely comfortable with. Right? You know, we're gonna and that's why he gave up calling duties. I think we're gonna have to run more of the offense that fits Bryce. And that's part of the offense that fits Bryce. If you want him to work, we want Bryce to work. Mm-hmm. You know, like the offense, you know, he's gonna have some flexibility at tackle. Like I said, he needs to start. I think when him start, man, Lee Walker, he's a backup. I think this guy got to. Well, I don't say got to start, but you would really like him to start. But you know, even as swing tackle, maybe he could be swing tackle. That's fine too. Because he has the movement ability to throw in the swing tackle. You know, we this was a need. This was a need. So now I know Dylan Thieneman fell, man. You know, I know a lot of Panther fans were like, "Hey, uh, like, it's something that's people seeing. Say, I think it's something teams are seeing. Like, hey, maybe it's not as fluid as he should be, or maybe question of competition. He might fall out to the bottom of the first or like to the second round. It's gonna be real interesting. So it seemed like that was a little when he threw his name out there, that was a little fake out. We did. It seemed like no other team fell for it, but like I said, man, this gonna be interesting. Like I said, this I wonder who's gonna fall to the second. Let's see. The funny thing, man, I was thinking about putting him as a third pick for, you know, as a winning scenario. Let's see where he was on the PFF Big Board. I believe he was like in the 20s. No, excuse me, pardon. 13, yeah. It's 13. 13. So we actually got value analytically for getting Monroe Freeland. PFF ranked 13. Right? They say we have the ideal size for the position. He's sort of inexperienced, true junior. He's young. So he's gonna be developing. So this is a real interesting pick. But analytically, I see it as a win. So like. So now I'm wondering who's gonna fall. Wonder if Casey Concepcion and some of the wide receivers fall. When I was looking at the guys we were bringing for the top 30, maybe this is what we were looking at. A lot of these guys that could fall to the second round. Let me see if I can find PFF grades. If they're doing on live grades. Nah. You know, I don't. You know what? Let me go on another break. All right, so I'll be right back. Probably should have went on a. But yeah, I'll wait till the next commercial break. I'll wait till the next commercial break. Oh, KC Concepcion afterboard to Cleveland. Let me add. So KC Concepcion. All right. So he was another guy mocked to the Panthers a whole lot. Went to Cleveland. Let's go back to Monroe Freeland. I saw draft website I like to use, the NFL Draft Buzz. They compared him to Abraham Lucas, left tackle for the Seahawks. Just extremely athletic tackle. He's been doing well for the Seahawks. So should make you feel a little better. Super Bowl winners got a left tackle very similar to Monroe Freeling. Let's see who's still available. Let's see who's still available. All right, so we got Keldrick Falk. That's someone who I mentioned to stay away from in the first. Denzel Boston still available. Stay away from Jamad McCoy. I mentioned stay away from. We still got Zion Young, edge, Anthony Hill, linebacker. Omar Cooper, Dylan Dinneman. We still got some players still available. Jacob Rodriguez. He was everyone loves him. He's still available. It's gonna be real interesting. It's only how many picks left until the end of the first. We're at pick 25. 7 more picks and then the Okay, the Texans traded up. So they, hold up. Okay, the Bears are happy. Let's see who. Okay, they got the Panthers press conference now. Let's go to that. Let's get off the draft for a bit. Oh, Dylan Thieneman to the Bears. Oof. Okay, let's see. Let's see what he's saying. Like I said, they seem that haven't drafted a lineman in a while. Thought he. And like I thought, really liked his athletic ability. All right. So you haven't talked to Bryce, but we've reached out to him. Haven't reached out to him, but he's text. Say he's excited. You better be. You better be, man. Bryce, we're doing this for you. Yeah, yeah, good question. Do you feel good about it now? That is true. Like I said, tackle is a premium position. Premium position. Um, you gotta, we gotta have some guys there. All right, and that's it. Conference. Okay, man. Just like I said, big thing. Really liked his athletic ability for a tackle, man. He's young. Just a whole lot of potential. They just loved it. I am. I do like sort of commitment to relative athletic score. Like we we are very dedicated to that. Like, hey, you got to be an athlete. It's almost Madden. Like, hey, I want the biggest, fastest, tallest. When I want to do franchise mode, I want a guy that's gonna look the part. It's sort of funny how they didn't come into play with Bryce, but it seemed like if everyone else and the players around him, hey man, you got to be an athlete. You got to look the part. You got to have like so you know like I said, I'm gonna check again later tonight and maybe early tomorrow. Like if we brought Monroe Freeling in, but I don't think we've met him. I know he's a local kid, but seemed like, like I said, seemed like we went against our top 30 visit rule. I don't, okay, let me see. Let's go. Yeah, so let's see what I've missed with the draft. So Dylan Thieneman, yeah, he went to the Bears. All right, so dang, so the Bears usually keep a good safety, or at least someone good in the secondary. Shout out to Mike Brown, safety for him. Um, Kalen Rutledge, the guard. Okay. Chris Johnson, defensive back, went to the Dolphins. Khalid Lomu, someone that was on my list, went to the Patriots. So yeah, tackles, man. Tackles are all. That's what I take from this draft, man. Potential at tackle, you're gonna go high. All right, they need talent. We need some, the thought of someone could block, pass block. Seven tackles off the board. let's see. Let's see. We got 4 more picks, man. You know, this it's been an interesting draft. Interest. Well, let me not say interesting. Interesting just for the fact that a tackle is a premium position. If you didn't know, this draft will tell you that. You need tackles. So, during the press conference, they was talking. Hey, they're gonna find ways to get him on the field, even if he's not the starter at left tackle. Like they're gonna find ways. He's, what that's good. That's gonna give him time to learn and even participate. Hey, put him at fullback, swing tackle. None of that. We're gonna make him work. He'll get some action. So, see if I can go back to seeing who's all available again. Like I said, you still got Denzel Washington. Give me Denzel Boston. Pardon. Still got a couple of good wide receivers that we looking at. Still available. Got a couple of D tackles we're looking at. Caden McDonald, Peter Woods. We were looking at AJ Halsey, the safety, aka Mr. Give Me That. Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver. Let me go back to my list and see who we looked at. But, I'm looking at Zenzel about Anthony Hill Jr. I thought he would actually be, looking at him at linebacker. Chris Brazil, he's interesting. We did bring him in for a top 30 visit. I'll say this, the biggest winner of this, Xavier Leggett. Hey, listen, you're getting a chance, man. You hear all these talk about wide receiver. Like, you got to perform. You got to do better. And, you won't have a first rounder breathing down your neck. That's the great thing. So they're going to give you a chance to progress even more. And to be honest, man, I think we need to try Xavier Leggett in some of those, like, toss and run after catch type of plays. You need to test it to see if he's, has that ability. He has the size. He has the deep speed. Let's see if he can run those plays. All right, let's go Chiefs. Oh, man, Peter Woods just brought him up. Now, that one's going to be tough. I personally like Peter Woods, man. I personally like Peter Woods. That is, from Clemson, man. That's going to be tough. I actually really like Peter Woods. So what we'll probably do in the second, man. Look, right now we probably go D tackle. We'll probably go more run stuff in D tackle, like Lee Hunter, Kaden McDonald. But I really did want Peter Hunt because I think he has the ability to offer more pass rush. Okay, so the Jets traded up. Oh man, Omar Cooper. Omar Cooper. Oh, that's a tough. Oh wait, so that's another one off our list, man. Omar Cooper. So some of those guys we had on that list for that I thought that could potentially be in the first. Um, they're starting to come off the board now. There's a couple more picks, but two more picks. But when I get to that second pick, there's three guys I want to focus on. I'll go ahead. Jamar McCoy is one because he has the talent, but his medical history came out that has degenerative knee issue. Like it's not going to get better, and I know that's seemed like it's scared off a lot of teams. All right, so there has to be some truth to that. So that's gonna be interesting, man, because if his knee can hold up, that would be a great second round pick. Uh, we still have Denzel Boston out there. Denzel Boston, wide receiver. Chris Brazell, that's another wide receiver. They're both, traditionally, X receivers like 6'4" with size. But maybe they can move around. Are we going to get wide receiver? I'm really looking at the D tackles. The D tackles. The D tackles and safeties. Are we gonna go defense? Are we gonna grab somebody else? We were looking at a lot of safeties for the second round, and like Jalen Kilgore, AJ Halsey, um, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be real interesting, man. I wonder, and I'll try to put out. I'll try to put out pick this to a video to talk about who we can potentially get in the next draft. But man, mm, okay, Keldra Falk. Hey, listen, we stayed away from him, so all right. One more pick left, man. All right, so last pick. Who's the last pick gonna be? You know, let me see. Seahawks. Let me look at the list. Seahawks. Maybe I'm going Seahawks. Maybe Denzel Boston, but I know the running back left, so maybe Jadarian Price. Excuse me. Yeah, so maybe Jadarian Price. Come, come on, let's see who this last pick is gonna be. All right, I called it. Jadarian Price. Yeah, I called it, man. Yeah, yeah. So that's the NFL draft, man. So we'll talk about you know still some a lot of good players still left, man. Thought Monroe Freeling, like I said, I thought it was a pretty nice draft pick. O lineman. Especially when they broke it down, they haven't really drafted O lineman. Dave Canales. Um, I do like his athletic ability profile. Okay, if you're gonna draft one, especially in the first, like, hey, are you gonna find a guy that's 6'7", can run a 4.9, and has like 85 inch wingspan. Sizable hands. Seems like he's just built to be a left tackle. So if you're gonna draft one, hey, have those credentials. And he's learning. It seems like he's a better pass blocker than run blocker, but I'd rather my left tackle be a better pass blocker than run blocker. So that's not a problem. Um, I don't think Icky is gonna get that job back. I think Icky, if he returns, it's 50-50 whether he was still gonna be a Panther. They might try to slot him to right tackle. But we'll see. But like I said, I like the pick. All right, when you look at he was ranked 13th on PFF's big board, so that was a value pick for us. All right, so I see the logic with that, and yeah, so good pick. Ruben Bain. My two winning scenarios. Ruben Bain went to the Bucks. Thieneman, we let him go to the Bears. And I swear, man, like I said, I was actually going to put Monroe Freeland as my third winning scenario just because I know we love such a high relative athletic score, and he just has so much potential at the tackle position. But, so I think, like I said, good pick. Second, third round tomorrow is going to be really interesting. Okay, that's where I want to see what we end up doing on those picks because we could there's still some good safeties we could use. If I'm guessing now, we'll probably go Jalen Kilgore since he, has more of the athletic ability rather than AJ Halsey, but either's fine. We could go wide receiver, still some wide receivers we talked to that's still available in the second round. We could go Jacob Rodriguez, man. He's a linebacker we really liked. Luke Kuechly really loves that guy. There's also Jake Golday. He's extremely athletic linebacker. Let's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at some of the RA scores of some of these players coming up. I think you got to look at those. It seems like, man, we really like athletes. We really like athletes, man, and we want you to have an extremely high relative athletic score. All right. Tre'Davious Stoops, that's a player that's been getting some interest, but I know he's an older player. He could play corner and safety. He's that would be an interesting pick. Tre'Davious Stoops, he runs a 4.3. Broad jump, almost has a great size for playing nickel, but he's going to be 24. But that'd be an interesting pick, real interesting pick. But so guys, I'm gonna get ready to log off. But that was a good draft, and we'll see what we do tomorrow. But overall, good start, and hopefully we add just a little bit more to the defense. That's what I'm hoping. So, all right, guys, take care. Like I said, please like and subscribe, and I'm out of here.